Hey, welcome back to the channel, ladies and gents. The topic of today is what I briefly touched upon in my last video, but it's towards the very end, and I've gone like 18 minutes on the last video, which I don't normally do. But in any case, this one is going to be titled "The Importance of Spiders," because if you guys watched the previous video, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But basically, 4 years ago, when I started out here with building the lodge and everything, if you were outside like this, sort of shirtless, sometimes pantless, you'd sit around like. 4 years ago, I wouldn't be able to have a hammock hanging like I do right there, where I could just, swing away, because there, of course, this is the Amazon jungle. The pond was here, but there were no, there was a decent amount of bugs and mosquitoes and flies and stuff like that, but one of the things I initiated was, I studied and researched and sort of experimented and stuff over the last 4 years. But 4 years ago, if I stood out here for a minute, I would be smacking myself here and there. There would be flies, mosquitoes, or whatever. I mean, this is May. This is right at the tail end of the rainy season. So basically, what I've done was, number one thing, because I've noticed a lot of the local mestizo people, like my village neighbors, the mestizo people that live in all these Amazon villages. Not talking about indigenous, by the way. But what I've noticed about a lot of the mestizo, the local mestizos, is that at the sight of a spider or a spider web, they kill the spider, they destroy the web. And they do it all the time. And what you notice them doing, if you just kind of sit with a family for a day, you'll notice they're just all day smacking themselves here and there, here and there, here and there. And so I started like researching about spiders and bugs and things, and I came upon on this study by the University of Maastricht, I believe, in Holland. And I left all the spiders and all the spider webs alone. I just let them accumulate. And right now, look at this bad boy. See, can you guys see him sitting there? I mean, he's about 2.5, 3 inches, but there's bigger ones and thousands of smaller ones. And basically, I just let them accumulate. And maybe right now, all around me, I have maybe 5,000 spider webs all around me. And you know what? When I started out, my caretaker, who's a local mestizo, he was like walking around, killing spiders, thinking, oh my God, Gringo's gonna be afraid of spiders. And, he was like, sort of meticulous about, getting rid of spider webs. And until I actually told him to stop, we were always getting a lot of bugs here. And so basically, since we stopped, now there's thousands of spider webs around. You can actually sit outside because, of course, if I got all of a sudden I got 5,000 spider webs around, there are great chances that a lot of the bugs that would normally sort of hover around, they're going to get caught in there. They're going to get caught in there, and maybe slowly, through adaptation, I think the flies are just going to go away into a place where there are no spider webs. Like basically, 200 yards down into the village where my neighbor is. So that was a huge game changer, because once I sort of just left everything as is, all of a sudden I noticed there are no bugs. And second thing I initiated was, a friend of mine who's been living out here for about 20 years. He is of French, I think French, French Canadian, whatever descent. But in any case, he told me, hey, you got a pond, Harry. Well, around the pond, there's going to be a lot of mosquito nests because, of course, there's a little plant here. There's a little weed that grows inside of the pond, which attracts a lot of mosquitoes and a lot of mosquito nets. But rather than walking around, every day looking for this little weed, and they're everywhere, and some of them are like half submerged and stuff. Better employ a fish called the boca chico. Boca chico is a fish which is I think part of the carp family or something to that effect. It's the Amazon, I think, version of carp. So basically what I did was I purchased 1,500 of them, little ones, little like minnow size ones, and I released them here into the wild, into my pond. And within 6 months, they grew, and all of a sudden the mosquito problem disappeared. Because this fish especially, it feeds on those weeds that grow around the pond, and it feeds on the mosquito nests. Hence, yeah, within 6 months, all of a sudden you can sit outside. You can enjoy the sun, or you can enjoy the shade. You can cast away and fish a little bit off the pier. Whereas before, I had to light up umpteen thousand citronella candles, and you couldn't sit out here on the bridge for 5 minutes because as you were sort of fishing or just hanging out reading a book, all of a sudden you're surrounded by mosquitoes and stuff. So yeah, two little things I did was just leave the spiders alone. They are a man's best friend out here in the jungle. Spiders do not encroach into your territory. You do not encroach in their territory, and you kind of just live, and separately. Thus you shall remain wedded, to a spider, and spiders shall remain wedded to us. And it's amazing. I've left the spiders alone. I've utilized the fish trick, the old Boca Chico in the pond, and yeah, it's amazing now. It's amazing. You can truly enjoy the jungle. And I mean, between January and May, that's supposed to be the really wet and rainy months. And yeah, we do get a little more rain, but it's like, it's every day. It's sunny pretty much every day, with a little rain here and there. But now, this is the end of May today. This is, I think, May 27th today. Hence, for the next 6 months, with the commencement of June all the way until December, it's summer. So we're gonna get maybe a little bit of rain once every 4 or 5 days, sometimes 6 and 7 days. Sometimes you get a little bit of rain once every 3 days, but that's the extent right there. And with that kind of season, there are absolutely no bugs, mosquitoes, or anything. I mean, you can just sleep outside right there in a hammock, and nothing really bites. But I did, I went the extra step. I went the extra step because then, of course, myself living here and my tourists coming around all year round, can enjoy the Amazon properly the way it should be enjoyed. And, one of the things is that we have great weather here all year round because we always have the 30, 32 degrees Celsius, which is, 84, 85, 86 degrees Fahrenheit all year round, and then a minimum of 22 to 24 degrees Celsius in the nighttime, which is like 72, 74, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. All year round, and it never changes. It's basically the never-ending spring. And so since I've been out here, that's what I've been calling my home here, is the never-ending spring. And of course, it's beautiful that the time never changes. You're always, you always sunrise at 6 a.m., sunset at 6 p.m., and it's beautiful. So thank you guys for tuning in. Check out the other for reference and for context. Check out the previous video, and you guys will know what I'm getting at here. But thank you. Hasta la ciao ciao from the Amazon. Bye for now.